So there have been theories about Jamie Lynn's pregnancy. Some people believe that Dan Schneider, the producer of All That and Zoe 101, the shows that she acted on, was actually the father after assaulting her. But there's this boy named Casey that she was dating back then, and that's the one that, Jamie Lynn's mother didn't want her to marry. And honestly, that was a smart business move on Lynn's part. I decided to Google her baby father, Casey Aldridge, and to see what he's been up to. And just looking at the past few years, it looks like Jamie Lynn made the right choice, because back in, this is 2009, he got charged after a car crash, and this was really the beginning of his downward spiral. At that point, he was charged with careless operation of a motor vehicle after crashing in the morning time, and actually no other car was involved. So how are you gonna get charged for an accident where there's no one else even hurt? It actually looks like he was taken to a medical facility because he was hurt. Also, it looks like by morning time they mean 1:30 in the morning, so I wonder what he was getting into. Probably out partying. I mean, he had 3 other friends in the car. Fortunately, they weren't really hurt, but his injuries were far worse. Of course, he got better because he got into more trouble later on, like messing around with prescription pills, which is a no-no, guys. Do not get into the prescription pills. It's like a gateway to the hard stuff. Casey was arrested for drug possession after police say they found him out cold behind the wheel of a vehicle. According to the arrest report, he had several different prescription pills on him. Now, I don't know if he was ODing, I don't know what drugs he was on at this point, but to be passed out behind a car, that's pretty, a wheel of a car, I mean, that's pretty scary. It seems like, was he planning on operating it? I mean, it looked like he was booked for possession of oxycodone, lorazepam, Xanax, and another drug called drug paraphernalia. So he, for the tools to use to, which is interesting because if they're pills, you just take them. But that means he must have been smoking them, which is even more unhinged. Poor guy. I wonder if he has a story about that time in his life, and maybe there's something really traumatic that happened that kind of led to his career in crime. Here's another incident from 2020 where he got in trouble for some firearms, which is a red flag. He was arrested for burglary after police say that he was linked to a rash of thefts. He was charged with 5 counts of burglary of a storage house and 1 count of burglary of a dwelling. It looks like he also was stealing from a bunch of different campsites. So really, it seems like he's just absolute scum. He's clearly got a problem. Now he's stealing things to sell, probably for money, probably for drugs, because they can't hold a job, which is just it speaks to how sick our country is with addiction. I feel like one day when I have I don't know, I would like to stand in support of people who are recovering from addiction, because it's something I feel very passionately about. There's people in my family who have been affected. So it's just this, reading this story makes me upset because it's just the cycle that people fall into, and you can so clearly see it happening. Supposedly, Casey broke into a campsite belonging to a private citizen with the intent of illegally taking rifles. Casey tried stealing 2 rifles total. No word on what type of rifles, but he had been charged with burglary. So maybe Lynn Spears was right, not allowing her daughter to emancipate herself so she couldn't lose her fortune to a guy who has his own struggles. Though this interview from Jamie Lynn Spears on this reality show is doing pretty well in the sense that people kind of like her. This person commented, "This is the best Spears interview I've seen." Another person said that was a genuine conversation, which I actually agree. It seems like this guy is a kind person. I never seen Jamie as genuine in interviews until this conversation. So that's sweet that some people are seeing a different side of Jamie Lynn and understanding how difficult it was for her to be a teen mom. Though I don't think Jamie Lynn had a great experience on this show. I'm pretty sure that it has wrapped up and they have completed filming, but she's now refused to do any interviews about the show, which typically you do a show, you do some interviews to promote it, but nope, nobody is talking to Jamie Lynn because she refuses to speak. She kept her head down at the airport, she minded her own business, and she had nothing to say. Not really sure why, but that's the situation. Keep in mind, we started this video by talking about the fact that Jamie Lynn probably won't last long. This article reads, the Zoey 101 star has a history of leaving reality competitions early. She was cast on Dancing with the Stars in September and was voted out of the show only on week 2. At the beginning of the year, she tearfully walked out on Special Forces just 2 days after Special Forces training, saying that she missed her children. So really, Jamie Lynn is not doing these reality shows for the long haul. She's going there, she's collecting her check, she's staying for as long as she can, and she's gone. So then why are you going on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? This person commented, she dropped out of Special Forces on day 3 because she couldn't be away from her daughters, but now she's doing this. Okay. Another person writes, why are you giving Jamie Lynn Spears a platform? She petitioned to be the trustee of Britney's estate in 2020 and tried to move money into her manager's church account. This person knows their stuff, which is true. Even though Jamie Lynn lies about being a big part of the conservatorship, she was there and her name is written on legal documents.
Period of time where you were involved in the conservatorship. And
wrong. Never involved in the conservatorship. Never, not once. There are legal documents that I can show you, or you know what, actually what the media could responsibly put out there, but they don't give an F about those.
No, let's
Like, really, Jamie Lynn, who are we trying to fool? Again, we have documents with your signature on it, so you can't really lie your way out of this one. You were part of the conservatorship, you were part of the trust, and you were part of trying to finesse with that money that was not yours. Now, this show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, is airing in the UK, and the UK audience are a little bit different than the Americans. Like, to be honest, I kind of feel like the people in the UK are even a little bit more harsh than we could be sometimes. For example, people were left shocked after discovering that Jamie Lynn Spears was younger than Britney Spears. Now, this is just shady because it was trending online that people were, again, confused to learn that Jamie Lynn was actually the younger sister when she looks much older than Britney Spears, because they have like a 9-year age gap. So there should be some, like, you should be able to tell, but you kind of can't. One person wrote, Jamie Lynn is only 32. She looks the same age as her sister, if not older. Another person writes, based on what I've seen of Jamie Lynn Spears, I thought she was about 35 to 38, even though she looks about 40 to 42. But she is 32 years old. This is bad, very bad. And everyone always says that she looks like that one politician. Is it Ted Cruz? I believe it's Ted Cruz. Some person wrote, bruh, I used to be so jealous of Jamie Lynn Spears' looks on Zoey 101 as a 10-year-old. My, how the tables have turned. Another person writes, just had to Google the age of Jamie Lynn Spears because I swear she was similar age to me, and she is. So then why does she look like she's pushing 50? You guys are so mean. In other news, it seems like Jamie Lynn Spears will be getting a check pretty soon, but it's not a check for winning a reality TV show. It looks like her home was affected by a hurricane in 2021, and now she is suing the insurance company Progressive. She claims they have not paid for the damages that have happened to her home during the 2021 Hurricane Ida. She and her husband Jamie Watson, who's also named Jamie, 2 Jamies, filed a lawsuit claiming that Progressive owns them a lot of money. Quote, Progressive either neglectedly or intentionally failed to fairly and promptly adjust the damages suffered by the Spears family, thus breaching the terms of their insurance policy. So Jamie Lynn Spears doesn't like when people hold her money. Imagine how Britney Spears feels. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.